Mark, what are your thoughts on what was quite a dramatic game against Greece Rugby League at Oxford this afternoon?
I'm really pleased. I thought it was a really good game of rugby league. A real unorthodox fixture coming into it. It's a long time since there's been an international game at Oxford, isn't it? So I thought our players conducted themselves particularly well. I thought we played some good stuff. There were some areas where we could be better, but overall I'm delighted.
How important was that start? I think 17 minutes gone, you 4 tries and 22 points to 0 to the good.
Yeah, we started well, and I made a point of starting with as many senior boys as we could, and trying to get a fold of the game, and we did that really well. And then as the game wore on, we got challenged with different scenarios from international and NRL players, and we've coped all right with it. We've conceded some points, but in the main we've coped all right with it, and it certainly stands them lads that have played today in really good stead for pre-season and next year.
Is it fair to say when Greece are bringing on players like Lachlan Ilias, who's NRL and grand final experience, Mark, you are certainly up against it when you've got like 18-year-old Lewis Camden, 18-year-old Harry Gray out there on the field?
I certainly wouldn't mind bringing them off of my bench, but no, the 2 players you just named there I thought were really good, and immensely proud of the fact that we've just had 9 debutants out there from our academy that continues to get bagged and knocked about, but continues to produce quality rugby league players, which is what it's there to do. And the fact that we've just given 9 first team debuts out there is something that I'm immensely proud of.
When you first saw their team, how aware were you that they were going down the complete opposite route to you? You started with a stronger team as you could, and they were coming in with the big guns.
In all honesty, Keith, in a normal game you get a team sheet about an hour and a half before kick-off of what they're going with. They didn't come with any team sheets, so I actually didn't know until they read the teams out while I was warming up, sort of thing. So just decided throughout the week that we had what we had. That was it. There was other than using more of the academy boys, that was what we had left. So we decided to concentrate on us throughout the week, and the lads have applied themselves really well, and I'm happy with that.
I know it's not your department, it's not your business, but looking at the Greek team, I think they're rated as 2,000 to 1 to win the tournament and 500 to 1 to win the group rank outsiders. What did you make of them? Can they cause, if not an upset, can they give 1 or 2 sides?
I'm not allowed to bet in rugby league, Keith. I'm not allowed to bet, but I don't know. Looking at the group, I don't know if I'd be putting any money on it if I could.
But everybody's written them off. I mean, are they better as a group than you expected?
Listen, I've got some quality players. You don't play in NRL if you're not a quality rugby league player. So they've got 6 or 7 quality players within that group, and I'm sure they'll be better than they were today. That's the reason that they wanted the hits out with us, is to get some of the rustiness out of their legs and try and build some combinations. So I'm sure they'll be better as the World Cup goes on. But yeah, they've got a daunting group, haven't they? So I certainly won't be putting any of my money on that, but I'm a tight auctioneer, so that's to be expected.
How pleased were you, Mark, with the second half when it looked like Greece were getting a stranglehold and appeared to be in a commanding position for those 2 quick-fire tries from, first of all, Aidan Scully and then David Gibbons?
Yeah, really pleased, because we're young blokes. When they face adversity, you never know how they're going to react. And they stuck together really well, and they was challenged, and they accepted the challenge, and then went down the other end of the field and posted some points ourselves. So, as I said, each and every one of the individuals that's taken to the field today, everyone got 20 minutes or more, that's really stood them in good stead for next year, and I'm looking forward to pre-season and working with them all.
Just a little bit on David Gibbons, out of contract, based on what I've certainly seen, he's done himself a lot of favours with that performance this afternoon.
He has. Gibbons been good since he came in. He came in on an emergency loan deal from Leeds when we was down in no halves, and I speak to him regular, and I'm going to ask the board to try and do something to keep him at the club, and hopefully we can do that. Hopefully we can keep him here. I'm not saying he'll be a starting half next year, and I've already spoken to him about that. He'll have an opportunity to earn his way into the squad. But yeah, I've been really happy with how he's conducted himself since he joined us.
And the 2 key players, the 2 trialists, Dalton Desmond Walker, Aidan Scully, what's the situation with those 2 men?
Both of them gents have played in our reserves a couple of times this year, for some game time through Keithley. we had a bit of a dual reg partnership going on when there wasn't in the Keighley first team, and we had a reserve game. We tried to accommodate them where we could. So they've both been released by Keighley. So contacted me and asked me if there was any opportunity to play in this game, and I would delighted to give them the opportunity, and I thought both of them went quite well.
And you mentioned the 9 homegrown debutants. We know the academy is going through a sort of mini licensing period this month, Mark. That's obviously going to be a huge positive to the RFL. Effectively, the Bulls Academy still in special measures that under the 2-year review period. So when Paul Medley, Dave Rotherham, Dave Elliott, and those people at the RFL come to look, the fact that 9 homegrown players have made the debut this afternoon, Mark, is going to be a big, massive green tick.
Hopefully Mick, and I'm sick of hearing people bag our academy. It's kept this club going for a number of years. You look at the players that were fortunate to leave the club, but for big transfer fees. Back in the dark days when we was in financial trouble, and that player that's come through our academy that's been sold on saved this club on more than one occasion. And now, if you take the 9 today and the 3 throughout the year, that's 12 debutants throughout the year. And I know today was an unorthodox game, and it's not a competitive league fixture, but yeah, they've represented this club and this badge that they wear with distinction, I think.
And just finally from me, Mark, what's the latest on the recruitment for 2023?
Yeah, it's an ongoing process. Recruitment never stops. You've seen some people have left us, and that's what it is. That's sport. There's a lot of work going on in the background to bring some new players in, and hopefully over the next week or so, some of them will start to drop, and we'll be able to announce them to the fans, and I'm sure they'll be very excited when they hear them should they drop.
How about the injury victims, those that couldn't finish the season? Where do they stand as far as getting a full pre-season in Lily and Jowett and people like that?
Yeah, that's the main key. You've seen today there was Sam Scott and George Flanagan running water and messages, and both actually wanted to play, but I'm not willing to risk him in a warm-up game for a World Cup. So, people like that will come back into contention. There'll be Billy Jowett, there'll be John and Lily. The long-term injuries.
Are they expected to be fully fit by the time you start?
Yeah, they should be all ready to start pre-season in November.